Okay, ready?
Sure.
All right, what's going on, guys? This is podcast number 1, DYD Performance. My name is Dan Degnan.
Alyssa Maloney.
Alyssa owns SC Fitness here in St. Charles, Minnesota. Really, Drake, we just started. Get up there. All right, so I asked Alyssa to join me today because eating habits, teens and adults. So really what I wanted to bring you here for, Alyssa. So what I've noticed is I think your family has pretty good eating habits, especially your kids is probably what I'm more impressed with. So you've obviously taught them well. So I guess that's where I kind of wanted to start is what does it look like at home?
At home.
Or what did it look like when all your boys were growing up?
Yeah. Well, it's something I've really tried to instill at a young age is just to eat like a well-balanced diet. So that would be the top thing. It's well-balanced and...
So when you say well-balanced, are you talking well-balanced as far as food groups?
Right. Food groups mainly.
Okay.
Like when I would have a meal, even when they're younger, always trying to, offer like a protein and then with a fruit or vegetable, a little bit of a carb, aside. So that's what I mean by well-balanced is not just focusing all, letting them just have all carbs.
Yeah.
Try to get some fruits and vegetables in there.
Okay, so where are you and Mark as far as junk food? Do you allow junk food?
I try to limit what we buy and have in the house.
Okay.
But that being said, if it, I from time to time, will allow that. It's just that, you can't be super strict. I always try to do the 80-20, balance. 80% of the time you eat well.
Yep.
And 20% of the time you can allow yourself.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, when I started trying to get serious about nutrition, and I know your son Keegan is in that boat kind of right now. So him and I have talked about meal plans, and I used to only eat off of a meal plan. So if it wasn't on my meal plan, I wouldn't eat it.
Right.
Outside of cheat meals and stuff. So I've done the really structured eating.
Yeah.
I think I had to at one point. I think that was good for me, but I would agree with you. Now I'm to the point where I do believe moderation.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say you don't believe in cutting no carbs or low fat? Where do you...
No, I mean, maybe at this point in my life, I've just found what works, and it's just not to completely eliminate anything, but if it is something that's, less healthy, just have it in small doses.
Sure. And it should be noted, okay, so anyone watching this video, I would say you guys are above average when it comes to, you're an overall athetic family. Okay, so,
that's fair to say.
For me, so what I've noticed even with Sia is carbohydrates, there's no way she could go, low carb or no carb.
Yeah.
We tried it and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I can more, but I also I do struggle with it too. I know my friend Reggie, who I trained with down in St. Louis, he was the same way. He was hell no, I couldn't go no carbs. I need that to run. So I think people are definitely different, but that should be, at least noted. I feel like you guys are probably pretty good at running off of carbohydrates. I would say Sia is the same way.
Yeah.
I think I've noticed I do perform better if I have enough carbohydrates. But
obviously it's easy to go too far into the carb, and a lot of
them are heavily processed too. That matters also.
Yep. And so that's another thing. Growing up, and I grew up this way too. So my parents were the same way. We never had, I shouldn't say never, but rarely had junk food in the house.
Yep.
Processed food. It was, cooked from scratch as much as possible, whenever possible.
And both of our I rely off of a lot of deer meat. I eat a lot of fish, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not my own caught fish anymore. I don't really do a lot of fishing, but your family, do you guys eat a lot of game, I guess?
Not so much game.
Because Mark doesn't hunt a lot, does he?
No.
Okay.
Not so
he
much.
fishes mainly, but he does a lot of catch and release.
Right.
So.
But we are,
Do you guys eat a lot of fish?
more in the summer when
Okay.
they're fishing and
Yep.
so yes, we usually have fish in the freezer.
Okay.
But I would like to more probably.
I would say I'm in
That's
the same
something
boat.
we could work on.
Yeah.
But just
Sia and I really enjoy doing Parmesan crusted tilapia is our favorite.
Yeah.
So we cook it in a little olive oil. We usually do that with rice and asparagus, broccoli,
Yeah.
Brussels
Yep.
sprouts, something like
Yep.
that. So, where are you as far as vegetables? Are you guys big vegetable eaters?
try to be. I probably eat the most vegetables in my family, but
Okay.
like I said, if
What about your boys?
if it's a
Do
family
they?
dinner, I put a vegetable
Is that something
on the
you
table.
made your kids eat when they were younger?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like you said, you have to eat because I know myself growing up, I did not like broccoli. I didn't like
Right.
asparagus.
Yeah, I would always make them try it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what if
you
they
don't
what
have
if they
to-
didn't want to, or what if they just weren't going to try it?
They would always try it. Yeah, they
that's
just
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
So even if it was only just one sprig of asparagus or one
I
broccoli.
know my mom is gonna watch this. I know. I can remember one time she tried to make me eat a piece of tomato,
Oh.
and I ended up throwing up on the table. And I'm pretty sure that's the last time she made me eat anything. But
Yeah,
I mean,
mine-
and I now I like tomatoes. Like I said, I actually enjoy eating asparagus,
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts, broccoli. I would say those three are probably our main.
Yeah, we eat a lot.
And spinach, kale. I do a lot of smoothies and stuff like that.
Yep.
What about you guys? I know Keegan's pretty big into the smoothies. Him and I,
Yeah.
we share smoothie recipes all the time.
Right. The other boys are into smoothies as well, but mainly it's more fruit, adding
Okay.
fruit and peanut butter into their
Sure.
into their
To get more
smoothies.
calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to be in basketball right now, so they're training pretty hard. At least the two younger
Yep.
boys are.
Yeah.
How old? Go through that. So how old is Owen and Drew?
Owen's 14 and Drew's 16. So
Okay. So what is so you have three boys. Keegan is obviously out of school now, but
Yep,
did
Keegan's 19.
do their diets, did they look similar as they were growing up? Did you notice any change as they were growing up, as they were getting more into sports or anything like that?
It's just quantity.
Okay.
Yeah, just
They
sheer,
just eat more.
sheer volume, which makes it challenging, to keep it all, so there are times when you're busy with sports and
Yep,
whatnot,
games,
and
practice.
and there are nights where it is you're on the go.
So what do you
You're
do?
eating on the
What do you do
run.
to combat that?
So
I mean, you obviously probably eat out more than you'd like to
Yeah.
in those situations.
right, but it's all about choices too, like what choice you make when you are
Absolutely.
at that establishment.
Absolutely.
Opting for a Subway sandwich
Yep.
over a bacon cheeseburger.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
always
because
think
I
there's-
would say Subway was probably one of the better options,
Yeah.
obviously, for fast
So
food.
that's kind of
so-
our go-to on the run.
Subway is?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. Or
Yeah,
even
I would-
if you're
I would
at
say
a McDonald's or Culver's,
Yep.
they have great salads.
Yep.
You can get the grilled chicken, and so I did notice as Keegan got older, went from ordering the Big Mac to ordering the salad,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, all right, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and obviously that's why I guess I kind of wanted to talk to you because it's obviously, like I said, with your oldest son, especially Keegan, I've noticed it's obviously worked, your guys' eating habits. So yeah, basically I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
that's one thing I've noticed, and like I said, I feel like Drew and Owen actually eat pretty healthy.
yeah.
Would you agree?
I think so. They don't drink soda or energy drinks.
Is soda
things
just
like
not a thing
that.
that you're?
No.
I know Drew was into the Bangs at one time.
Okay.
Energy drink, but he was using it more for a pre-workout. So
Yeah.
and he doesn't drink a lot of them. I know
Yeah.
they don't usually have soda.
We just don't have it in the house
Okay.
very often. If we were having a get together or something,
Yep.
or at the cabin, we have soda. But yeah, it's not a very common thing in our
Okay.
house.
Okay.
So just try to push, water. Or
Yep. What?
sweets.
Oh yeah. Okay. Desserts, sweets.
Yeah.
Where do you? So do you guys have a lot of that in the house?
No, we don't typically. Some dark chocolate. Usually there's
Dark
some dark
chocolate
chocolate to be
usually.
found.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And-
percent cocoa?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you don't even look at that?
I mean,
okay, so just for
I don't
anyone
look at the
watching,
percentages.
so like
60
the
to 70%.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the I think I was reading a couple studies on like dark chocolate, and I think most experts, like 60 to 70% at least,
Right.
they say, to get those benefits,
Yeah.
Cardiovascular benefits. There, you guys can look that up, but dark
definitely.
chocolate's pretty good for you.
So that is something.
It's obviously not the sweetest tasting,
No,
but it does it curb your sweet tooth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then,
And fruit, you said you guys eat quite a bit of fruit?
we do eat a lot of fruit.
Okay.
Yep.
I would say we do too, honestly.
Yeah.
That's one thing I used to try to avoid because of too much sugar. But anymore I feel like fruits and vegetables alike. Like I've tried to really increase those.
Yeah, I would say in my family we lean more we probably eat more fruits than vegetables.
I think that's pretty normal though.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
And so I always, growing up, or when the kids are growing up, I try to have like a bowl of fruit out.
Like of
visual,
what?
readily
What would
available.
you have in there?
Bananas, apples, oranges.
Okay.
If it's in the summer, it's grapes.
Yep.
I always try to have strawberries, blueberries,
Yeah, I
raspberries
was just
if they're
gonna
in
say,
season
absolutely.
and affordable.
Yep. And
So,
the good thing, you guys listening, the good thing you can do is freeze. So I buy blueberries in bulk and then freeze them.
Yeah.
I do the same thing with like my kale. I freeze that also.
Oh.
Yeah. So I do that sometimes if I'm not like right now I'm experimenting with some fasting, so I'm not always eating every day. And so that's been
that's a whole nother
that's a whole nother video. Yeah. We'll get to that in a different video. I know I'll probably have Keegan on for that one because I know he's been doing
that.
He's a big, him and I are pretty big into fasting, I would say. So that's for a different video. Okay, so like real quick then, what does like a normal day at the grocery store, like what would we be talking about?
Like what do I mean? What am I?
Like what are you? Like what is like the things that you're always buying? So like for instance, for me, like I said, like asparagus, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli for like the cruciferous vegetables. I always cook with olive oil. We're always eating, tilapia, chicken breast, sometimes ground beef, steak, pork chops, stuff like that. We generally always have like rice or some sort of pasta. Where are you with rice? Do you like white and brown? You think rice is okay?
I like them both.
Okay.
We make them both. The kids eat both.
Yeah,
So,
I seem to. I know I've noticed with my body, I seem to handle rice better than like bread, pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I don't know what it is, but it seems like there is a difference. Go back to Reggie again. He always like rice and rice cakes. That would make up the majority of his carbohydrates.
Okay.
And when I did that, I noticed like I felt good. Like I felt fine.
Yeah.
I always had enough energy. So I still eat rice cakes with peanut butter on it. I still
do that. I do that too. My kids don't as much, but and then just because they're growing boys and always hungry, we eat more meat than if it was just me in the house.
Yep.
I would not eat meat every day, but we have so we have
and that's interesting because Keegan is he's experimented with like not very much meat at all.
Oh, I know. But Mark is
the opposite.
Meat and potatoes type. Grew up,
and that's the way I would say I am. And in fact, I've actually backed off on my stance on meat a little bit, only for the fact like they're starting to realize like the amount of protein we've kind of over-calculated how much protein we need in our diet. So like more closer, for like me, I've been trying to get, I still usually fall within that 100 to 150 grams per day.
Okay.
And I'm like 210, 212 right now, body weight. So I used to be like 250, 300 grams of protein.
Wow. Okay.
I would be a lot. So I've definitely backed off on that some. I've been trying to eat more healthy fats. I get fish oil every day.
Right.
Like I said, I cook with olive oil, all the vegetables, we saute in olive oil. So
the focus has really shifted from when I was in high school. It was the fat-free and the low-fat, and so like that's how I grew up thinking.
When did that start? Do you remember?
Wow.
It was at least during the 90s. Like I've read some
definitely in the
articles
90s.
about that also.
Yep, it was definitely in the 90s. So therefore, like I remember a friend of mine, thinking back into college, we're at the cafeteria in college, and she's got this plate full of pasta,
Yeah.
right? A huge amount, like more than she would ever need, but it was fat free.
Oh, sure.
So in her head,
Yeah.
this was like healthy because pasta
Yep.
didn't have fat, even though
Yep.
it was like a
And
ton
wasn't
of
it?
calories.
And wasn't it? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but around the same time, like the whole breakfast, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
That was really
that was,
pushed.
and like a lot of, I've read like some things about like how the cereal companies were big backers, obviously for obvious reasons.
because they load it up with vitamins
Absolutely.
and minerals, so it's good for you.
Yep. So it's quote unquote healthy. Yeah.
Right. So I've
Where are you
shifted over
guys?
the years.
Okay, so then like for breakfast, where are you with that? Do you always have to eat breakfast in the morning?
I eat breakfast most of the time. I
Okay.
would say most people in my family do. Owen, the youngest, is not a big breakfast guy.
Okay.
Keegan wasn't either.
No.
Drew, yes, very much so.
Okay.
So it just depends on the person.
It should be noted, Owen and Keegan definitely are more like you. Would you
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah.
And Drew is more like Mark.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you with breakfast?
That's like my favorite like meal of the
Yeah.
day, to be honest.
Okay.
So yeah, I actually do
Always eat breakfast every day.
most of the time.
Okay.
And it, whether it's yogurt and granola or peanut butter toast,
Yep.
eggs. We eat a lot of eggs. My husband always has to have the bacon.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I love English muffins. So I'll have like
me too.
make my own egg white
Yeah, that's
McMuffin.
awesome. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
But I still. But then again, if I'm running late and I don't
Yep.
have time for breakfast, I do fine until.
Sure.
It's not like.
So you can go without breakfast,
yeah,
but
I
you just
don't-
usually don't.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because you've been programmed to believe that is healthier, or do you think you actually
think it's
enjoy
habit.
eating breakfast?
I think it's a habit.
Because see, that's where I've gotten to. So
Yeah.
like now with like this intermittent fasting that I've been doing, I've realized like I'm not hungry in the morning.
Right.
I literally have my water and my black
Yeah.
coffee, and I'm completely fine. Like I mean, most days I usually don't eat before 4 or 5 o'clock
Really, yeah.
in the evening.
Yeah. I definitely think it's not because I'm starving. I just eat
Okay.
breakfast in the morning because A, I like that type of food, and B, that's what I've always done.
Okay.
But I don't think it would be hard for me to change that habit. But
Okay.
it's more habit and
All right.
and
All right.
enjoyment.
Well, like I said, fasting will be for another video.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay. Well, I appreciate you talking. This was.
Thank you.
How do you think it went? All right.
Good.
Yeah, I think it was okay.
All right.
Okay.
Closing time.